Now let's move on. Let's move on to NBA. It's a small card. Boston, Brooklyn did not have an overnight line, so I did not look at that one. Toronto and Houston and San Antonio, Dallas, 2 interesting games. Obviously, Houston has been absolutely rolling. I will read my NBA record. Hey, Chinese guy. Who's a Chinese guy who asked to see my my NHL record, which wasn't that good? Listen up. This is my NBA record. Chinese dude. I don't know who that. I don't know how to translate your Chinese writing screen name, but Chinese dude. Listen up. You ready? This is my NBA record overall on the year. My official picks. 37-22. 37-22. Average line minus 108. That's plus 13 units. That's plus 20.4% ROI. That is not at all sustainable, but that is awesome. And I'm going to
actually, that guy said that your record was awesome from NBA.
From NBA.
Yeah.
Yes. NHL, it's not. Thank you so much, Chinese guy. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just going to call you Chinese guy for now. But yeah. So that's my record in NBA. That is not sustainable. That is not in any way, shape, or form sustainable. But I'm sure going to give it my all to try to continue to be profitable in all sports. All right, so in the NBA, 2 interesting games. Some of those winners that I've had recently have come on Houston. I timed pretty well their turnaround offensively. I had a bunch of team total overs with them, a bunch of first half plays with them. And the big question here is will they just come out here and continue to roll? Tomarino Tomor in the beginning of the show said he liked Houston, so he presumably is assuming that it's going to be not me a speed bump here for Houston. The Raptors are off of 4 straight ATS losses. The only issue is that for me, when I look at this, is that Toronto is pretty well rested coming in here, and it is Houston's 4th game in 6 days. Which when you're playing a high paced offense like that, at some point you're going to wear down a little bit, and sometimes those 4th game in 6 days type situations can be bad for a team like Houston. But if not, then the Houston team total over and the Houston first half line might both be great picks. Again, let's see what the team total over is for Houston. Team total over is 112.5. Yeah, I mean, if their games go as all their previous games have gone, that's an easy no-brainer play. They should get over that one easily. Toronto's been giving up, those kinds of points. Houston's been scoring those kinds of points. And the first half line for Houston is, what is it? minus 3.5, just a standard play. The big question is, 4th game in 6 days, will Houston slow down here a little bit? Not unthinkable. I mean, as we saw with Houston, when they were struggling in the beginning of the year, we knew they were going to turn it around. And now Houston's been absolutely lights out. And Breadman, what do we know?
What?
It's not going to continue. There's going to be some down spots for Houston.
It's just looking at the chat.
Right.
This guy just never faded.
Yeah.
Never faded. Said Pete reminds me of my weed man in high school.
Of my weed man in high school. Oh yeah, what you need? I got some brand new blueberry shit that just came in, crossed with the Gorilla Glue. Wait, what are the strains? I don't know what the strain are. Oreo cookies.
Glitter.
Yeah, I got the Gorilla Glue crossed with the blueberry shit. Yeah, I would love to be a weird. No, I'm not into weed, and it's just weird because God, when I was a kid, I would go to concerts and people would just come and ask me for drugs, and I'd be like, I don't do drugs. Why would you think that? But they didn't believe me. And then when I started working in offices, people would ask me for drugs then, and I'd be like, I don't do drugs. They'd be like, really? Really?
Sure, that's your new nickname.
I don't understand. I think I just naturally have a lot of DMT floating around in my brain, just naturally. I don't know, but I'm not really a big drug guy. Although I do like to pretend to do drugs, and I like to pretend to deal drugs. I like to pretend to sell drugs, and I like to say the names of drugs, and I like to watch videos about drugs on YouTube. Actually, I do find like they do not to go on a tangent here, but there's people who do like strain reviews of marijuana, and every strain is awesome. It's like every strain. It's like the difference between they're like this strain is like super super awesome compared to that other strain, which is just a little bit less than super super awesome. It was just super great.
Portion that's red or black.
So anyway, no, I don't do drugs. Let's get back to NBA here. All right, so Houston. It's just a matter of are they go at some point? Houston is going to come crashing back down to earth, and they'll have a run of games where they're not covering, where they're not scoring, where their shooting numbers are off, and where they're looking a lot more like what they looked like in the first part of the season. Is that likely to happen here? I don't know. My sense is more likely than not they'll be fine. but it would not at all be surprised if they come in and all of a sudden have a dud. Tomarino Tomor already started off the show by saying he likes Houston -6.5, and if Tomarino Tomor is correct on that count, then I think Houston on the first half and on the team total over are even better bets. If Houston covers this one, I think they more likely than not go over 112.5. And then the other game is San Antonio and Dallas, and the Spurs are just rolling no matter who's in the lineup. Very, very impressive. San Antonio and Dallas awful. They're 1-7 ATS over their last 8. Spurs are covering. And the Spurs are also playing well offensively, and Dallas just isn't defending anyone. So I did make a bet on this one on the overnight line. It feels a little bit obvious and maybe a little bit trappy, but I did bet the over. I bet the over at just 201. The Spurs, of course, are coming off a huge offensive game where they shot like 66% from 3. That's not likely to happen here, but I do think that Dallas is just they're just playing out they're like the Arizona of the NBA. They just don't have it this year, and I don't think they're going to be they're just going to be any game with a super high total probably is good a bet on the under. Any game with a low total is probably a good bet on the over. And I think that the Spurs can go low scoring, but I think more likely than not, the game goes over, and I also bet the Spurs team total over. I got 104, and it is still 104, although plus 101 at Pinnacle. So go ahead.
Do you think the spread's a little bit trappy on that game?
It could be. I mean, yes. I mean, it's super. Anytime you have a situation like this, I mean, the thing is though that it's just like the Spurs are not the kind of team that Popovich let down. You know what I mean? I mean, the Spurs do tend to just do tend to bring it. I think it's a little trappy. I bet the over. That was my bet. And I guess, I feel like this is just a trappy thing to do because it just seems so obvious to take the over. But you know what? I will take it. I think Dallas won't play too clamped down defense. They don't have anyone. Yeah. And the Spurs are playing, comfortably scoring games. I mean, they're not super high scoring. They're not going to shoot 2/3 from 3-point range like they did in their last game. But I think they're going to have a decent brisk. I mean, I can predict the score right now. 99-94 Spurs. The game goes under and Dallas covers. I guarantee you that's the game. That's the final score of this game. 99-94 Spurs. But I don't know. I bet the over. And I've been trying to force myself to give my leans in the NBA, which has paid dividends. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here up like 3 or 4 units and with a leans record that is off the charts. But I have forced myself to give my leans, and that has paid dividends. So, God. Let's see. Let's get to some comments. See if anyone wants to comment on this one. Let's see. All right. Tomarino Tomor says, I think the Spurs will be focused here, have disappointing first road trip, and Spurs are better in up-tempo games. Yeah. Let's see. Dallas is shit. Sean Thompson, thank you very much. Thanks for that comment. That's a comment that if we were doing the comment show at 6 p.m. today Eastern time, I would bring up that comment. Dallas is shit. Yes, thank you so much, Sean Thompson. Delta 7575 says I got over first half Spurs 98. Yeah, that was tempting as well. It's a little bit concerning that the first half is less than 50% of the full game, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Spurs are old. They get tired in the second half. Delta 7575. Let's see. Tomarino Tomor says, I don't understand how you back Dallas. Smith is good, but he's a shoot-first point guard. Dirk can't defend. Dallas lost to Atlanta at home. Yeah, I'm not backing Dallas here. I'm just saying that I know that the gambling gods will come down and make this final score 99-94, San Antonio, Dallas. Never Faded says Spurs will have a great game tonight. LA will have his way with the Mavs bigs. Yeah, it feels like it's got Spurs and the over written all over it, and the Spurs team total over as probably a good game. But I'm telling you, it just makes me feel nervous. Okay. Let's see. Delta 75 predicts a score of Spurs 105-100, which means that game would go slightly over and that Dallas would cover. All right, let's see. Isaac Manion asks, why is the spread so low for the Spurs? I mean, I don't think it's that low. Dallas is at home. They are an NBA team. You got to give Dallas a little credit for being an NBA team and being at home.
I think it's kind of low too. That's part of the reason why I asked if you thought it was trappy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It seems weird because they don't have anybody. Dirk is old as dirt. His knees are broken.
Mm-hmm.
He's a legend, but
yeah. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough one. Tomarino Tomor has a comment about my point about the fourth game in 6 days. Here we go. Tomarino Tomor says, Pete, I don't think playing the fourth game in 6 days is an issue for 2 reasons. Houston has had very easy games the last 2, both blowouts, and it's early in the season. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's an issue to take note of. I'm not necessarily saying that I disagree with your opinion that yeah. Nate the Great says, Loshak remind me of Cheech and Chong. Light the herb up, man, and let's make some moolah. Yes. Oh, I don't really smoke herb that much, but I look super cool when I'm pretending to smoke herb. That's the truth. And those are the kinds of things that we'll do in the 6 p.m. shows where they're a little bit less intense. Because right now in the 10 o'clock shows, no, a fake one. A fake one, and I'll do my. I used to do that when I was doing the show over during baseball season, and it was a lot slower. We had a lot more time for jokes. I would, anytime someone would make a weed reference, I would always pretend to take a huge spliff, and a huge drag of a. That's the key. The key to doing it funny is not to pretend you're smoking a huge spliff. It's to pretend to take a huge toke of a tiny spliff. That's the key. That's what makes it funny. All right, so a little comedy. Yeah, a little comedy tip there for you guys. All right.
Doesn't matter. It's not the size.
Yeah, no, size doesn't matter. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get back to it. Yeah, Nate the Great says the Mavericks are 1-10 ATS. Their last 11 games played on 1 day's rest. I mean, the Mavericks are terrible. The Mavericks are terrible. Jansen Bonzone saying, let's get to college basketball, Pete. Jansen Bonzone, at this point in the day, I do not have any opinions on college basketball. But when we start doing the shows at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I will have some college basketball picks. Now, probably at those points in the day, the lines will have moved, although maybe I'll tweet them out during the day and then revisit them during the 6 o'clock show. But as of right now, don't have any opinion on college basketball. All right, so let's see. All right, okay. I am going to, oh, God, what should I do, Bradman? I want to give the over. You know what, Houston?
Are you still mulling over that Dallas game, the Dallas and Spurs game?
Yeah, and the Houston one. I want to give the team total over 112.5 minus 110. It's just.
I revert back to the question I asked you yesterday. Mm-hmm. What is more profitable, your initial assessment of a game or your second guessing of a game?
My initial assessment, definitely.
What was your initial assessment?
You think so? All right, I do have units to burn, which is a dangerous fucking thing to say because as soon as you say that, you burn them, and then you don't have units to burn anymore. But okay, I will give Houston Rockets team total over 112.5 minus 110 as an official pick, and I will also give San Antonio Dallas. No, but Dallas likes to slow shit down. God, Jesus Christ. All right, I will give it. San Antonio, Dallas, over 201, minus 106. I bet it. So I'll give those two. Hopefully at least one of them wins, and then I'll be okay. I'll give 2 picks in the NBA. San Antonio, Dallas, over 201, minus 106. That's the best line right now at Pinnacle. And then I will also go with Houston, team total over 112.5, minus 110. And probably Houston on the first half is also a lean. And I guess got to be leaning the Spurs, although there is actually a 6 now. Pinnacle is down to 6. And this game is very similar to yesterday's Orlando-Golden State game. Golden State was the obvious play. The public was all over it. Huge line move in favor of Orlando. And look what happened. Orlando did cover even on the closing lines. This actually might be a game where you want to look at the closing lines here. If this one drops down to 5.5, that tells you that Dallas might be the play here because San Antonio's too obvious of a play. And if it hangs at 6.5, San Antonio's probably the play. If it goes down to 5.5, Dallas is probably the play. And it is down to 6 at some of the sharper books right now. Pinnacle has 6. BetOnline, sportsbetting.ag has 6. So we'll see where this line moves and where it closes. As of right now, I have some units to burn in NBA, so I will throw on the Dallas San Antonio over 201 and the Houston team total over 112.5 minus 110. And that's it for NBA. That was a long NBA segment for just 3 games, one of which I ignored because there was no overnight line for it, and I have nothing to say about it.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.